First off, want to give all praise and glory to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, Bahashem, Wakwakadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well. Salutation to all you Akim prisoners, truth and sincerity, and presenting your bodies as a living sacrifice. On Mashiach of Children of the Light. Hoping I can edify you all with another lesson. I want to start off with Isaiah 55:6. Seek ye the Lord Yahweh while he may be found. Call ye upon him while he is near. Let the wicked forsake his way, and the unrighteous man his thoughts. And let him return unto the Lord Yahweh, and he will have mercy upon him. And to our power, God, our power, for he will abundantly pardon. And this is for Jake, man. It's for Israel, right? Seek the Lord while he may be found, because we know that the Lord does hide his face, right? And he will hide himself at times, and he will leave us in our punishment and in our iniquity, which we see time and time again in the scriptures, right? So let the wicked forsake his way. Yeah, man, being in the world, being a heathen, living in the flesh is offensive to the Lord, because you have to be living in the spirit to please the Lord. So if you live in the flesh, then you are in opposition of the Lord, right? So you got to return from your wicked ways, and you will get mercy, right? And you're going to get that grace through Yahweh Bahashem, Yahweh Shah, because we know Yahweh Shah came to give us that grace, right? But seek ye the Lord while he may be found, because the scriptures also talk about a famine of the word. And when he takes away his word, right, you essentially are being taken away instructions and the gift to receive these scriptures and his doctrine, and finding the Lord through these scriptures and his doctrine, right? So the whole this lesson got me started with the California fires. And we know it's it's some things could be going on behind the scenes or whatever. I'm not calling out none yet, but I know for me, this was a hell of a play on my imagination, right? When I saw what was going on, like, just look at this picture, right? Just look at this image and let your imagination run wild, right? Look at how the fire took everything down. Right? Burned all of this shit to rubble. And the scriptures also always talks about turning, that mountain to a heap, right? Or turning the hill to a heap. This is that heap. This is that heap of rubble, right? The house was sitting up high, and the fires burned this shit down to a heap. Let's go ahead. I'm going to just pull up the definition of heap. Make sure I'm on point. Heap, a disorderly collection of objects placed haphazardly on top of each other. A heap of cardboard boxes. And that's what we see right here, man. This is a heap of objects haphazardly placed on each other, from being burned the fuck down. From being burned down from the top to the bottom. Right? And this was going to happen if you don't seek the Lord. While he can't be found. You gonna get hit with them missiles, and your ass going right up in smoked with the rest of this shit. And that's my message for today, right? Two parts of it. Seek ye the Lord while he may be found, but also I want to shake up some imaginations, because these, the California fires, man, the whole state been burning for like a week. That's a long time for fires to be going, but this is powerful imagery. This is powerful injury, right? And we know when I saw this, it reminded me of that scriptures that say, woe to those that seek the day of judgment, of the Lord's judgment. Well, woe to those that seek the day of the Lord. For what end is it for you? Right? Because how you want to go out? You want to go out in this shit? Or you want to get beamed up and get them bodies? Me, I want to get beamed up and get them bodies. Right? But, and that was a spirit on me, showing me how real it can be. And I want to pull that scripture up. Give me 1 second. Amos 5 and 8. It says, woe unto you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? So you know you going around and saying you can't wait for the Lord to come back, but when he come back, what is your end gonna be? What does his return look like for you? Right? So it says the day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And you can see this right here. When the smoke from the fire fills the skies, and that dark cloud is blotting out the sun, and there's a lot of horror and shit going on around you, right? Because the scriptures also say, you know, they will consider their latter end. If they had knowledge, they would consider their latter end, right? So just going back to Isaiah 55 and 6, let the wicked forsake his way, right? Because in the day of the Lord, what is your end going to be? And the unrighteous man his thoughts, right? And let him return unto the Lord, and he will have mercy upon him and be our power, for he will abundantly pardon. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't want this, right? Man, I saw this Oculus, my imagination went crazy. Salvation, get on it. You know, I mean, you know, it's all in the Lord's hands how it all is for anybody, but I'd rather do this work at the end of the day. You get what I'm saying? To say, man, I tried my best, and that's all we can do. But right now, it's still time to turn from that wickedness. It's still time right now to find the Lord. So let's jump into some more scriptures, right? Isaiah 66 and 16. For behold, the Lord will come with fire. Yeah, as we seen, and again, right? I'm not saying this is judgment day or this is the day of the Lord, but what I'm saying that this is on a smaller scale. This is a very, very, very small scale from the picture that the scriptures is painting, right? So just let your imagination roam free for a minute and picture this happening all across America, all across Babylon the Great, all across the world, right? At the same fucking time. For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots, them UFOs, like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. With flames of fire. Man, just look at this. And you know, I'm moving a little fast, but I'm gonna let it play without the sound though. Come on, man. They had to release prisoners to help put this out, and it's happening all across California. Let's get back, right? For behold, the Lord will come with fire, and with his chariots like a whirlwind, to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. For by fire and by his sword will the Lord Yahweh plead with all flesh. And this word plead doesn't mean beg. No. It means he gonna settle the score with flesh. And the slain of the Lord shall be many. And this right here, right? Going back to this imagery. This imagery is important for the very next verse. It says, for they that sanctify themselves and purify themselves in the gardens behind one tree, in the midst, eating swine's flesh, and the abomination and the mouse shall be consumed together. Look at this tree. Look at these. Look at these little ass sticks. These probably were some big ass beautiful trees. And look at them. And you sitting over there trying to hide your shame, hide your wickedness, hide your nakedness, thinking you crafty, eating a big ass bacon sandwich. Oh, don't worry about it. You're going to be consumed with everything else. Right? Because see, man, you can't fool the Lord. Right? And the Lord is giving us optimum time to turn from our ways to become new creatures in Yahweh Shah. You get what I'm saying? To receive this truth, to receive this doctrine, to walk a different path. And like I say, for me, this jogged just, I can, right? My imagination. Whoa, man. Yeah, and I said, so what the end? I say, if this look like this, then what the end gonna look like? And then, what is my end gonna look like? Right? So yeah, yeah, but on that Isaiah 66 and 17, I'm gonna stop there, and that's important. Why we ought to seek the Lord, why He may be found, because these prophecies are gonna come to pass. Why? Because the Lord said so, and we know whatever He say is gonna happen. It's gonna happen, right? And man, Babylon is gonna get it. Babylon is gonna get it. And what does it say about the slaying of the Lord shall be many, and many people are gonna get hit with that destruction, right? When no missiles hit, the missile don't get you, the impact gonna get you. The impact don't get you, the fire gonna get you, the fire don't get you, the smoke gonna get you, the smoke don't get you, a big ass building falling on your head gonna get you. But whatever gonna get you, you're gonna get got. Right? And that's why we say with fear and trembling we persuade men. Right? And that's why we want to turn from our ways. That's why we want to seek the Lord while He can be found. That's why we want to take off the old man and put on the new. That's why we want to dwell in the spirit and not dwell in the flesh, because the flesh has no regard to the spirit, and the flesh has no regard to Yahweh Bahashim, Yahweh Shah. Right? I just want to jump into some prophecies real quick, right? On Jeremiah 51 and verse 7. Right, because we know that, right, America is Babylon. And this place gotta go, because the wickedness has reached exceedingly far into heaven. Right? It says Babylon hath been a golden cup in the Lord's hand, that made all the earth drunken. Right? The nations have drunken of her wine, and that wine is influence. Right? The Western civilization's doctrine. Right? You can be anything. You can say anything. You can believe in anything. Freedom to be wicked. Freedom to live in opposition of these scriptures. Freedom to be unclean. Freedom to fornicate spiritually. Right? That's their wine. Therefore, the nations are mad, because we know America leads the world when it comes to influence. Right? It put the whole world under subjection with its military and its dollar. You understand? And that Western and you know that Western philosophy has gone out and been magnified, and which is the spirit of folly and spiritual fornication, idolatry, and just all of the other things that are in opposition to the Lord. Right? Same thing is seen in Revelation 18 chapter. Revelation 18:3. For all nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication. This is spiritual fornication, right? And the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, right? And the merchants of the earth, right? So all of you that got rich through the abundance of her delicacies, right? And what's the abundance of her delicacies? Fornication, spiritually, right? You got your witchcraft, right? Everybody being whatever they want to be, with the worshiping the moons and the tarot card reading, the zodiac signs. You got your spirits, your alcohol that's on every corner, right? The delicacies, your bacon burgers and your slabs of ribs, your baby back ribs that you got. You got all of the exceedingly wicked things like the human trafficking, the children trafficking that's going on. You got the witchcraft through the music. See, all of these are the abundance of her delicacies, and all of these are the merchants that peddle sin and iniquity. Right? So, we know this place got to go down. And right now, the Spirit giving us a very, very small glimpse of what that's going to look like. And All of these fires could be, man-made, right? Somebody started them, but if they did, it's because the Lord put the spirit on them to do that. You understand? But again, this is on the smaller scale. We talking about biblical fury and destruction right now, right? So it's going to be a horrific scene, man, right? And to the brothers out there already in the truth, let that push you to, go hard in this truth. I was talking to one of the Akims, and we were just talking about it, like, man, what excuse you gonna get a Lord when he come back to say why you weren't doing this work, right? Because you was, dealing with, you was tied up with your girl and your job and your kids and your mortgage and your bills and all. He ain't gonna want to hear that, right? He ain't gonna want to hear that. I'm just bringing up this imagery again, just to feed, just to feed your imaginations, Akims. You understand? Now I did have one more precept I think it's Jeremiah 51 and 20. Oh, here we go. Jeremiah 51 and 25. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain. Right? And what's the destroying mountain? America, because mountain means nation. Right? Destroy who? Destroyed the Lord's heritage. Right? Who came off the slave ships? Right? Judah, Benjamin, and Levi. Who was over here? Who ass they was kicking? The Northern Kingdom, Gad. Right? The Northern Kingdom, when the conquistadors came and took them back to Spain to be reprogrammed. But they have raped and pillaged and destroyed the Lord's heritage. Right over here in this uttermost part of the world. Right? Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord, which destroyeth all the earth. And I will stretch out my hand upon thee, and roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. Let's go back to the image. Come on, a burning mountain, just this a hill, but you know what I'm saying? Look at that. Look at that, man. Look at that. Look at that. We go back to it. Behold, I am against thee, O destroying mountain, saith the Lord. Right? Roll thee down from the rocks, and will make thee a burnt mountain. And we got one of the biggest, greatest states and cities in America that's been burning on fire for a week. That's all the sign I need. I hear you talking to me, big guy. Let me get to work. Let me do some more lessons. Let me get in my studies some more. Let me check in with the Akims more. Let me make sure that I'm doing all I can to get my salvation. You understand? What's the scripture to make a election sure? I think it's in is it First Peter's? First Peter, it's like 1:15 or something. You know what? I know I'm close, but just bear with me 1 second. Second Peter 1:10. Ooh, I was close. I was close. There we go. Right. 2 Peter 1:10. Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. For if ye do these things, ye shall never fail. If you're occupied in these scriptures, if you occupied in prophecy and the spirit of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua, you could never fail. because those are all righteous things to be doing, right? And not being caught up in your flesh and in the world, right? Wherefore the rather, brethren, give diligence to make your calling and election sure. If ye do these things, you should never fail. And again, I'm hoping I was, able to jog somebody's imagination out there, because when I saw these things,
Massive wildfire.
my imagination went through the roof, you know. Yeah, but so I'm gonna end it there, and I'm just gonna say shalom, shalom, shalom.